She's live. Now we'll see if anybody shows up. I've been pollinated. My goodness. Good morning. Good morning, whoever is there. It's my Carrie Bishop. Well, actually, it's John McKinney's Carrie Bishop, but I take ownership of her. Good morning, Tennessee DJ. Tennessee DJ, thank you for your faithfulness to Summer Wells. Thank you. Hi, singing live stream. There'll be some singing over here at some point. Hi, Shay. Good morning, honey. Carrie, the reason I say that to Tennessee DJ is that Tennessee DJ, almost without fail, leaves a comment under the shorts every day for Summer Wells. Good morning, Angie's Live. Good morning, Holler Girl. I read your email this morning, but I haven't clicked the link yet. But I will. Shay, honey, that's all right, baby. You've got a life. You got a man. You got a kid. You got a YouTube channel. Don't you worry about that, honey. I haven't been going live a whole lot, Shay, because pretty busy around the home place here this time of year. Holler Girl, you're at the doctor with Mom. How is Mom doing? Shay, you got a bunch of kitty cats? Shay, do you still have your kitty cat channel? If so, baby, drop your link. Y'all, I'm giving Holler Girl a second to see if she can give us a little update. Mom's doing real good. One more week and she can stand up on it. Hi, Mimi Jean. And anybody that doesn't know what it is, it's Mom's foot. She took a tumble. She's doing therapy. Okay, good deal, good deal. The tibia was shattered. Holler Girl, remember when you first told us about Mom? And I said it was her arm? Duh. How you guys doing this morning? Good morning, Kiki Eyes. I'm a bit melancholy. Those of you who have managed to establish a baseline with me. Been a long 3 months, but you've made it, baby. Those of you that have been around long enough to have established a baseline with old Lip Lock No More, you can tell, well, shoot far. It's the 15th of the month. If you're new to Lip Lock No More, welcome. Hi, my name is Susan. And we're all glad you're here. 15th of the month. We are 1 month shy of the 4-year mark of the disappearance of Summer Moon Utah Wells. So this morning, well, let me finish that thought. Summer Wells was 5 years old at the time of her disappearance on the 15th of June of 2021. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. And the thumbnail for today's live, anyone familiar with Summer's case will realize that that is the age progressed photograph. Because almost 4 years later, Summer Wells is not going to look anything at all, really, like she did in 2021. But she has blonde hair and blue eyes. She was reportedly wearing a pink shirt, gray pants, and most likely barefooted at the time of her disappearance. She lived at 110 Ben Hill Road in the Beech Creek community near Rogersville, Tennessee in Hawkins County. Summer had spent the morning and early afternoon hours with her mother and her grandmother. Candace Harrer is her grandmother, her maternal grandmother, who lived on the property at the time of Summer's disappearance. As a matter of fact, was present on the property at the time of Summer's disappearance, along with Summer's mother, Candace Bly Wells, and her 3 older brothers, who were minors at the time and still are. And they are in the custody of the state of Tennessee. They have been since July of 2021. We're told that Candace Harrer had a knee problem, and that Candace Wells, her daughter, felt that she needed to seek medical attention. So we're told that Candace Harrer, Candace Bly Wells, and Summer Moon Utah Wells loaded up in the pickup truck of Candace Harrer, and off they went to the Holston Medical Center in Kingsport, Tennessee. We want to remember that in 2021, here in the United States of America, worldwide actually, we were in a lockdown due to a pandemic. I think a lot of folks tend to forget 2020 and 2021, 2022, being in a lockdown and how things were very different. So I can imagine that it is true that after having picked up her at the time 15-year-old friend, Candace Bly Wells' 15-year-old friend, Hunter, that Hunter and Summer did indeed most likely remain in the pickup truck while the 2 Candaces went into the medical center. Don't know what happened in that pickup truck while they were inside. I've had some thoughts about it, none that I choose to share at this time. And not necessarily in this order, but they also went to a couple of tobacco shops. They went to the grocery store. They went to Sonic. And they went to Warriors Path State Park, where there is a swimming hole. Reportedly, a video was made and uploaded onto TikTok of Summer swimming around 12:33 p.m. on the 15th of June of 2021. And as far as we know, that is most likely, in my opinion, I say in my opinion, bold, italicized, underlined, and centered at the top of the page, in my opinion. It may very well be the very last video ever shot of Summer Wells. Yeah, I know there's the 3:09 p.m. reportedly milk jug video. Where so many of us wonder if Summer is actually alive. We don't actually know. I'm sorry. We don't actually know if that video on the milk jugs was shot on the 15th of June of 2021 at 3:09 p.m. as reported by Summer's mother, Candace Bly Wells, because she never shared it with Unmasked as she had promised to do. So there's no available metadata, at least to the public. After a day spent running these errands, it's reported that they arrived home at 110 Ben Hill Road sometime around 3:30-ish. 3:15, 3:30-ish. At 6:23, at 6:28 p.m., 911 calls were made reporting Summer Wells missing. We're told that after separating the groceries so that the grandma could take hers to her camper on the property, Summer's brothers helping to do that, that Candace Bly Wells, Candace Harrer, y'all, I'm struggling. I'm going to get through this. I'm struggling. I'm sorry. We're told that Summer helped her mother and her grandmother transplanting some succulents and cacti into some planters in front of the camper door of the grandma. That the grandma needed her knee brace adjusted. And that during that time, Summer announced to her mom that she wanted to go in the house and play with her brothers. Oh, Lord, help me. According to Summer's mother, is anywhere from 2 minutes to 10 minutes. She seems to have a lot of trouble telling time or keeping up with it. As she said, time flies when you're trying to have fun. That was in regards to earlier in the day, by the way. So according to Candace Bly Wells, the helicopter mom extraordinaire, walked Summer clear over to the house, the whole what? 15, 20, 25 fucking feet? Helicopter mama? Anyway, then she saw Summer go in the house, and she went back over to adjust her mother's knee brace. And according to her, when she walked back in the house, anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes later, she asked Summer's brothers, "Where's Summer?" "She went downstairs to play with her toys, Mom." So Candace calls down the stairwell, "Summer! Summer!" And according to Candace Bly Wells, Summer almost always, usually responded to her. And when she did not, Candace Bly Wells proceeded down the stairs into the basement, where there is an exterior door, which nobody seems to know, nobody can remember, nobody knows if the door was locked or unlocked, open or not open. But there was no Summer, and everybody remembers that. By everybody, I mean everyone who was there. She was just gone. And she has remained just gone for 4 years on the 15th of June of 2025. There's a whole lot more to that story, many details, little things like that, according to Leslie Earhart of the TBI, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Summer Wells disappeared in the early afternoon hours. The early afternoon hours, wow. 1:30 to 3:30 or 1 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, depending on who you are, where you live, your colloquialisms and things of that nature. But generally speaking, early afternoon is 1 to 3 p.m. That's important. It's tiny, but it's important. Summer was a missing and endangered child until the following morning, June 16th, 2021, around 11:15 a.m. And I stand to be corrected on that if I've got the time wrong. At that time, an Amber Alert was issued after law enforcement approached Assistant Attorney General Dan Armstrong, who contacted the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and they agreed that based on, quote, new information, close quote, an Amber Alert was indeed needed. A couple of days ago, several days ago, actually. Hi, Mechanic Mama. Hi, John McKinney. Anybody I've missed, I'm sorry. Several days ago, hang on, Leslie Earhart of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. I'm bringing something up on the TV. I had it pulled up, but I've talked for so long that it did its thing, you know. Excuse me. Okay. Let me find it. How do I, let's see. Am I going to have to go all the way back? Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Fun fact. The person with McDonald's is
Give me a minute.
the most popular kid in school.
Okay, now I've already shared this on our community tab very shortly after it was released. This is Time News Online, YouTube. And the reason I'm not subscribed on here is this is not my account. This is my husband's account, but I am subscribed on my phone and on my PC. Word on the street, Leslie Earhart, TBI. Leslie was interviewed. And I want to look at a little bit of it. If you haven't seen the entire interview, please either go, I will leave a link in the description below after I end this live stream, okay? But it is already shared on the community tab. If you haven't seen this interview, please go watch it. It's not just about summer. As a matter of fact, there's just a very short snippet regarding summer wells. But it does have, it's a very interesting interview that includes details and information about the TBI itself, like when it was established in 1951 and why it was established and who established it and the services provided, the different departments within the TBI. It's a very interesting interview. But here along about, now I've got it at 8 minutes and 8 minutes and 34 seconds is where I'm going to hit play. Let me turn the volume back up. I don't know how well you will be able to hear, but I will reiterate what is said. So let me hit play here and let's see what happens.
Best that we can. Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of going off of that, what's the feeling like when a long-term case sort of comes to fruition?
What is the feeling like when a long-term case comes to fruition?
What's that feeling like? I'm sure it's, satisfying, even if it takes, years for some of these cases, but kind of what's the feeling when those things sort of resolve themselves?
100%. It just feels like a huge weight has been lifted off your shoulders. There's really no way to explain, especially if hours and hours and even years of hard work has gone into a case. Also, along those same lines, when a case remains unsolved, like for instance the Summer Wells case, that's extremely
When a case remains unsolved, like for instance the Summer Wells case.
hard, because there's nothing that we want more than to solve a case, especially involving a child. And it's hard not having the answers, or being close to maybe discovering something, and just knowing that we just need a little bit more information to resolve a certain situation. So there's nothing better than seeing a case solved and seeing justice served.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's also extremely hard for those cases where we haven't seen justice served yet.
Right. Yeah, you mentioned Summer Wells, so I did want to ask any updates on that case from your
You mentioned Summer Wells, so are there any updates on that?
perspective or from the TBI standpoint?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It is still an open and active investigation. I think most people think
It is still an open and active investigation. I think most people think
that the case has gone cold,
that the case has gone cold,
but that's not true.
but that is not true.
We still have agents working on it constantly.
We still have agents working on it constantly. Constantly.
We follow up on any new information that comes in.
We follow up on any new information that comes in.
I can say that we've been following up on information that we've received in the last few months.
I can say that we have been following up on information that we have received within the last few months.
So it is very much an active investigation, and we will not give up.
So it is very much an active investigation.
How can a place with so much small town charm also be among the fastest growing
Sorry.
cities in Arkansas? It's because Cersei has something for the entire family.
It is still an open investigation. They are working information that they have received within the last several months. And her final statement in regards to Summer Wells' case and the TBI. We will not give up. Neither will we. Thank you, TBI. Thank you. Now, babies, I know that ain't much. I know. And like I said, if you would like to see the entire interview, the link will be in the description below, but it's already on the community tab. I need a cigarette. And I don't remember where I left my coffee. It's right over here on the table. All right, let me put these back on my nose so I don't lose them. Let's see if I can carry you babies out to the front porch. Without opinions. See if I can look at your chat for a few minutes, and then we'll have a short reading and another verse from Angel from Montgomery for Super Sensible Sage. I'm meting it out to her one verse at a time. They won't give up. Her case is not cold. It is still an open and active active investigation with agents constantly working her case. And I won't give up, so you don't give up. Shay and Carrie, thank you guys so much for dropping links and information. And babies, if I have other mods, I'm sorry. I don't mean to leave any of the mods out. All of the mods here are wonderful. Eric Jasper, you loved Black Betty Bam Bam. Whoa, poor Betty Bam Bam. Whoa, poor Betty Bam Bam. She got herself in a jam. Bam Bam down in Tennessee land. Bam Bam. Whoa, poor Betty Bam Bam. Bum, 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 ba-dum. Boom, 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 boom. And by the way, Eric, welcome over. I'm glad to have you here. Hi, AC. Beth Ann, prayers for summer. Yes, baby. We won't give up. I noticed under, now that same, boing, 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 squirrel. That same interview in toto is also available on another channel on YouTube, Johnson City. Shoot fire. They come up side by side. If you pull up the Time News Online, the Johnson City one should pop up right next to it on your feed. But it's the very same interview. And actually, maybe the link I'll share will be to the Johnson City site because they've only had 8 views over there. And I don't know if you kids noticed, but the Time News Online had only had like 238 views. What? In my opinion, there should have been thousands of views on that. Hi, Half Pint 275. Thank you for coming over. Hi, Lean on Me. Babies, you're seeing new names in chat because we have a substantial amount of new subscribers over here. You know, Eric bringing up Bullhorn Betty. Let me kind of, okay, let me decompress here for a minute. Hi, Jamie. You live in Johnson City, honey? So you're right there. Hi, Happy Feet. See, kids, the mods are like, she acts like she knows these people. I do. I know them from other chat rooms here on YouTube. And they've come over because of me addressing certain other people, not related to the Summer Wells case particularly. I let the cigarette go out. So mods, you'll know, like Half Pint and Eric and others, Beth and others that we're seeing. These are kids. Yeah, Half Pint, I know you stinker pot. If I keep sucking on this, it'll probably stay lit. I was going to say something about, oh, yeah. In relationship, thank you, Happy Feet. In relationship to Bullhorn Betty, who claims to be dun, 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 a journalist. She thinks that she is a press person, but she's not. She thinks that she can print a press pass and learn a lot. In the interview that we were just watching, that young lady is a journalist. She asked questions. She listened to the answers. And then she ended the interview. I can 99.9999999999999 number nine guarantee that that young lady did not come back on YouTube after a little while and tell everybody how she felt about what Leslie Earhart said. I can give the same level of guarantee that that young lady did not come back on and tell us what she thought about what Leslie Earhart said. She didn't come back and give her opinion on what Leslie Earhart said. Now, I am no longer a journalist. I have not been since the early 1990s. I'm now a commentary channel. I bet there's a bunch of you MFers out there that wish I'd go back to just being a journalist. Ask the questions, get the answers, and shut your fucking mouth. The advantage to no longer being a journalist, to being a commentator, an opinionator, a cult evader, is I can give my opinion on what I think about what was just said. Bullhorn Betty, Andra Griffin, bleach blonde bitch. And Andra, the reason that you can't find any of my work is because Susan Brewer is not my real name. Ouch. However, my viewers and subs here have seen my work because I've shared the video of my interview with Carrie Noble, which is on YouTube. That much of it. Being an investigative journalist, Andra, one would think that you would be able to find it. It's on a public social media platform. So much for your investigative skills. Y'all know earlier on I mentioned to Holler Girl, I read your email, but I hadn't clicked the link yet. It's got to do with Nick the Hat. We'll see if it's something I want to share or not. I trust Holler Girl. She tends to vet her information. But I must say that if it is indeed Nick the Hat with the not so bright, unintelligent agency, par extraordinaire, is he wearing panties? Holler Girl. I got no problems with transvestites. I happen to know several of them. Happen to more than know them. They're actually friends. Anyway, we won't be going any further than that with that until we have further vetted what information we've been receiving. And it may be information that we, no, I don't have a mouse or a banana in my pocket, but I do have Holler Girl as a friend. So if it is information that we decide that we can share on a public social media platform, we might just do that. And we think it might be exclusive information. We don't know. We being me. But I'll go ahead and say right here, since I was talking about Summer Wells in the beginning, I've said it in recorded uploads. I'll say it right here, right now on a live stream. Nick the Hat, Hong Zi, Dog the Bounty Hunter, et al. ET space AL. That's Latin for all you motherfuckers. You have no place in the Summer Wells case, and you have no reward for her. I have read the terms. Also, as previously stated in pre-recorded uploads, Nick the Hat is a federal parolee. He can't even leave where he lives. And as I said in my first recorded upload to you boys, I don't go real life. I've never gone real life on this platform. All I have are my words. I'm very good at using them. I also am a retired investigative reporter. My connections are few these days. Most of the people I ever knew in the news business are dead now. Real news, not Andrew Griffin's style. Reporting the facts, and only the facts, with no opinion and no commentary, is what a reporter does. It's only words. Words are all I have. I'm also a Sigma female with one hell of an attitude. If you don't know what a Sigma female is, Google your Google. All right, let's go see if we can find some little old something to read. Sing you another verse from Angel from Montgomery and say goodbye for the day. Hi, Cats Hodgery. Tennessee DJ. And see, I noticed you said definitely. If you know, you know, don't you, baby? Now, here's the thing about that. And I've had someone ask me in the comment section, Ooh, y'all, let me turn my air conditioning up a notch. It's chilly in here. Also, it'll cut down on the background noise. Do I need more lipstick? I should have tweezed my chin. I have whiskers on my chin. If you zoom in and you get real close, you'll see right here I have whiskers on my chin. Happens when you get old. You know, when you get old, you lose hair in places that you always had it. Like I haven't had to shave my legs in 4 years. Okay, but the other thing is you get hair where you never had it before. I'll just leave that there. Oh, I'm trying to see if I've missed anybody in the chat. I hate to leave anybody out. Aeneas 24, hi. Eric, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, guys, something I've been thinking about talking about before we say goodbye. How long we've been on here? 46 minutes. Now, I'm not going to talk about it today because, well, I'm not going to talk about it today. And now I have to go pee. But I've been thinking about telling you guys about when my oldest son was kidnapped by his dad. Let me go pee. I'll be right back. And no, I'm not taking you with me. And I also need to give away some memberships. I think we got some memberships to give away. I can't remember. We may have given them away already. I'll have to look. Just mind your P's and Q's and behaviors. What am I? I'm wasting my breath and your time telling you guys to behave yourselves. And I have got to grab my Mother's Day bouquet and show it to you live where you can see it all the way around. Give me a minute. And yes, I wash my hands. Ain't it party? That is from, let me put it back where I keep keeping it. It's the only place I got where the kitty cats can't get to it. But ain't that beautiful? So anywho, Anywho, I know, Happy Feet. I was so, and it didn't come till, was it yesterday? No, day before yesterday. It didn't come till Tuesday. And Bob came home and came into my office where I was, and he said, "Baby, there's a present on the front porch." And I said, "Another one?" Because earlier in the day, a box had come delivered from Walmart in relationship to our other channel, Furry Feline Monsters of Mass Destruction, which is our cat and dog rescue channel here on YouTube. And one of our faithful and avid viewers over there, Patty Barnett, had sent cat food and some Lifesaver gummies for me. And then she let me know another box was coming, and it had come. We haven't opened it yet. So I said, "Another one?" And I said, "Well, bring it in." And he said, "No, it's on the table on the front porch, and I'm pretty sure that it's personal and just for you." It's like, okay. So go out there, and there's the bouquet. It would appear that the florists around here, I live in a tiny town, they'd run out of Mother's Day floral, the flowers that they, whatever. And so it was Tuesday before I got my bouquet. And that's fine. It was a beautiful surprise. And it's from our youngest son, his significant other, and our grandson. His significant other is a court-appointed child advocate. And I'm hoping that someday I can have an interview with her. I don't want to show her on camera because of what she does. And of course, we would not be able to discuss any particular cases. But if she would be willing to do so, and if it's allowed, I think it might be interesting for us to hear from a real court-appointed child's advocate, at least here in the state of Arkansas. What does that mean? What do you do? I know the week before Easter, she was literally working with the FBI. That's all I know, because that's all I can be told. But I don't know. I think it might be interesting. Hi, Connie S. Hi, Cotton Candy 65. Happy Feet, you think so? I think that it could potentially, depending on if I can re-hone my interview skills. I haven't interviewed anyone like a real interview since, oh, thank you, Eric. Thank you. I haven't sat down and literally as a journalist interviewed anybody since 1993, y'all. I mean, we've had, I think 3 panel guests here on Lip Lock No More. And by the way, if you're new, let me make this short digression as well. Especially if it's your first time here on a live stream. Babies, I don't do panels. I don't have any fancy bells and whistles. No green screen. No hoopla. It's just me and my phone and my thoughts. And if you'll notice on the title page of this channel, if you go to the about or right there on the title page, it says, this is a commentary, critique, and opinion channel. I also cuss a lot. So you're not going to get any of the cool stuff here where we watch somebody else's stream, or unless we do like we just did. Okay. We ain't fancy. We're just real. And if I lie, you'll know because I'll do this. If you cross your fingers when you lie, it doesn't count. Okay, so that's something that some of you think might be interesting. My potential future daughter-in-law, who is a lovely, lovely girl, woman. And the other thing I mentioned before I ran off to the bathroom was I don't share very much of my actual personal life here. I mean, I invite you into my home. It's where I live. Obviously, that was redundant. And I'm real. And I mean the things I say. If I say something I don't mean, I'll correct it, retract it, take it back, make an apology. But I don't share, other than my professional life, a whole lot here about my life. And some might wonder, how can Miss Susan relate to the panic one feels when their child is missing? Although we knew who had him, his dad. When my oldest boy, who is now 51, was only, let me think, it would have been the summer. I know it was summer because of the way I was dressed. It was the summer of 1976. It was several weeks before I knew where my son was. He was only 2. And obviously it all turned out all right. But the initial panic that you feel when you've been informed that your child, your baby, has been taken, even though I knew who had him. I cannot imagine what it must feel like to have that panic increased by the unknown. So, if anybody's interested on another live stream, I'll tell the story. I'll tell the tale of the kidnapping of my oldest child. Hi, Krama Reels. Half pint, it was terrible. It was terrible. I was in Arkansas. It ended up he was in Missouri, Kansas. Hi, we never like you, Betty. We never like you, Betty. I love your name. Frantic and heart. Yeah, it's terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. And I don't want to say any more about it, because if it's a true life story that you guys want to hear, and that's mostly what you're going to get here, babies, it's very personalized over here. Okay. Not a whole lot of objectivity. Now, that was a digression. Let me go back to the Sigma female thing. When I said that somebody had left a comment under a video that I had shared from Her Own Path, which is a channel here on YouTube. About Sigma females. Don't be put off by the fact that it is an AI male voice talking to you. Okay. The question was, can a person become a Sigma female? Oh, most absolutely. So if you're in the chat now, or you see this later, or you're watching now, but you're in the bushes, and you were the one who wondered, yes, most certainly you can become Sigma female. Okay. Now, let's see what cold reading we can find before we say goodbye from Getting the Most Out of Life, an anthology published by the Reader's Digest in 1946. Carrie, thank you for the copyright disclaimer. For I do not own any rights whatsoever to the book or anything in it. I'm scanning. This is continuing in the section that we read from the last time. What makes a husband easy to live with? Condensed from Woman's Home Companion, the testimony of 9 wives. Now, I made it clear on the last live stream, but just in case you weren't here, this is not one man with 9 wives. These are 9 completely independent of one another wives of 9 different men. This one says, okay, Martin the Approachable. Martin, my husband, has a close friend, John, married to Kate. Kate said to me the other day, I wish you'd ask Martin how John feels about us all going camping together. Ask Martin? Why not ask John directly? I did not put this question to Kate, but in my heart, I sang songs of praise of Martin the Approachable, the responsive. Here I had been blissfully ignorant of a remarkable quality that makes life with Martin as comfortable as an old shoe. Anything from dollars to donuts, I can broach. No reticence, no explosion, just response, fair and frank. We can disagree with zest, but somehow no debris from the past encounter clutters up the future approach. So I guess Kate was not comfortable going to John. So she asked the writer of the piece to ask her husband. To ask her husband. Is there somebody in your life that you're not appreciating right now? A quality they have that you haven't recognized? Like for this person, someone who is approachable without reproach. Someone you can disagree with zest and have no debris in your future encounters. Have you told them that today? That you appreciate how they are and who they are and what it is about them that you love? Focus on the positive. You might be amazed at the outcome. Now, from this very same book, we've learned this from Mark Twain. So apply it here as well. From any experience, take only the wisdom and stop there. So, Super Sensible with Sage has been wanting me to do Angel from Montgomery. I did the first verse the other day. And I stopped because she wasn't here. She has seen it though, because she left a comment. That's how I know. I'm not going to rip your ears out with the first verse again. I'm just going to cut right in with the second verse. And new people may be going, oh my God, she's gonna sing. Yeah, I am. You don't have to listen. There's no band, obviously. I don't have a band anymore. I'm retired from the entertainment industry as well, except for going live on YouTube. So, Super Sensible with Sage. When I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. He weren't much to look at, just a free rambling man. But that was a long time, and no matter how I try, those years, they just roll by like a broken down dam. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo, and just give me one thing, Lord, I can hold on to believe in this living is such a hard way to go. There's one more verse. If she shows up on the next live, I might actually finish the song for her. If I've missed you in chat, I'm sorry. Without my readers on, your chat is just a blur. So let me leave you with this admonishment. You have superpowers. One of your greatest superpowers is kindness. Sure, there can be some motherfuckers out there that are going to see your kindness for weakness and try to take advantage of you. Sure there are. There will be some who will actually succeed. Don't let that jade you. Let it make you more aware, more mindful, more thoughtful of where you cast your pearls. But don't withhold that superpower of kindness from others. You have the superpower to make a difference in somebody else's day. Don't hide your light beneath a basket. It cannot be seen there. Now then, you don't have to go home. But I've got 2 sinks full of dirty dishes. So unless you're willing to step through this screen and help me wash them and clean a bunch of litter boxes, you need to get your asses out of my kitchen and go do something positive and productive with your day. Smile at somebody once in a while, even a stranger. It'll make them wonder what you're thinking about. Now, get out of my kitchen. I got shit to do. Make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing, Lord, I can hope on to believe in this living is such a hard way to go. Get out of my kitchen. I love you all. Agape wise.